What are some of the symptoms that you've encountered with menopause that surprise you? I mean,
Yes. Things that mama and big mama didn't tell you.
right, exactly,
Okay?
exactly.
All we knew at the time was, oh, it's hot, I'm sweaty. Okay, so we knew that we were going to be a hot, sweaty mess
Yes.
as time progressed.
Right,
Because we
right.
watched it.
That's what we had to look forward to.
They're sitting there in the AC and the fans going, and they're just going
Yes.
through.
Yes.
Oh, they didn't tell us about the belly extending. They didn't tell us about the mood swings. They didn't tell us about brain fog. They didn't tell us about your teeth. They did not tell us, oh dear God. It's so
There's
much
so many things, yeah.
body odor.
Life keeps changing, and I keep aging. Turn my stress into blessings. I'm here to share my lessons.
Hey, girl, hey. Welcome back to Girl, I'm Making It Through, the podcast for every woman over 50 who's navigating this beautiful, messy, unpredictable, powerful chapter of life. I'm your host, Tracy Marshall, and today we're diving into something that touches all of us at some point. Change. The internal shift, the external shift, that why is my hair on my pillow and not on my head shift. Yep, we're talking about menopause, hair thinning, dating after 50, and finding joy and friendship in the middle of it all. Because truthfully, life after 50 isn't about shrinking into the background. It's about showing up fully, even when your body's doing things you weren't prepared for.
Amen.
Whether you're newly single, navigating widowhood, waking up in night sweats, or wondering if it's normal to feel like a completely different person, this episode is for you. And I couldn't have picked a better person to have this conversation with than my dear friend, Denise Rose. She's my fellow Scorpio sister, a bold and beautiful voice in this midlife journey, and someone who truly understands what it means to grow, glow, and reinvent. She's a badass singer and an actor, so let's get comfy. We're talking symptoms, soul work, and maybe even some dating tea. Let's get into it. Welcome to the show, Miss Denise Rose.
Welcome. Thank you.
How you feeling
Thank
today?
you. I am blessed and highly favored.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive right into this subject. I titled the show today, The Shift is Real.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Menopause, dating, and finding new joy.
In that order.
In that order. Menopause. It's such a nasty word. It's almost like a cuss word now. Like,
it's like men.
right. Oh,
I'll
pause. Exactly. What are some of the symptoms that you've encountered with menopause that surprise you? I mean,
Yes. Things that mama and big mama didn't tell you.
right.
Okay?
Exactly.
All we knew at the time was, oh, it's hot, I'm sweaty. Okay, so we knew that we were going to be a hot, sweaty mess
Yes.
as time progressed.
Right.
'Cause we watched it.
That's what we had to look forward to.
They're sitting there in the AC and the fans going, and they're just going
Yes.
through.
Yes.
Oh, they didn't tell us about the belly extending. They didn't tell us about the mood swings. They didn't tell us about brain fog. They didn't tell us about your teeth. They did not tell us, oh dear God. It's so
There's
much
so many things, yeah.
body odor. They didn't tell us about that.
Yes.
You know, I had a
Yes.
conversation with a friend of mine, and she discussed body odor. She's like, I don't understand what's going on. Oh my gosh. And it's all due to,
Hormonal changes.
there it is. And we go through so much from, our period stage, our menstrual stage,
Yes.
and now we're in this
Second phase.
second phase.
Yes. For me, I say yes, definitely. The brain fog is so real.
Yes.
The hair thinning, so
Yes.
real. The weight gain,
Yes.
So real. And I will second the body odor. I've had to change as I'm going through this cycle of hormonal change.
Yeah.
I've had to change deodorants.
Yes.
And on top of that, I'm in a period of trying to be more natural, right?
Yes.
And not have the deodorants with chemicals and things like that. So in researching and trying to find something that fits, but it also has to be able to cover
Yes.
this funkiness that we now have in this hormonal change.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
And it's funny you say that because I've been natural for several years now. And that was a journey itself.
Yes.
And I guess that's another show.
Yes. We
Because,
will definitely talk about that.
Yes, it's workable. It's challenging through the changes because it's like what worked last week, it's not working this time. But as long as you keep your spritz, you keep that spray available, you're fine. You'll be fine.
But we will definitely touch on that on another show because I'm finding it to be a journey and I'm just getting started. So I can imagine you having done it for years now, like all the different things. So we definitely want to touch on that.
Absolutely.
But let's talk more about the hair thinning.
Oh, yes. Well, my
hair loss.
Yes. My hair began to thin 2000, around the edges. I had locks and long locks, full. And then stress.
Yes.
The stress of pulling, because I was in a position where I had to keep my hair a certain way for work, and the pulling and the internal stress, because my position at time was very stressful.
Yes.
My hair began to thin, and I said, okay, well, what? Because I was always comfortable with whatever style. I always challenged my poor locks. And next thing you know, I said, okay, I think I'm going to have to cut my hair. And so I just cut all the locks off. And then I even tried a flip over just to hide. I had colors to blend in because I said, no, I'm not going to let it all go. And one day I just had an epiphany. What if you just let it go? What would happen?
Because there's stress in itself in trying to figure out what to do with it.
Exactly.
Hence how I have micro locks.
Exactly.
I got tired of trying to figure out what to do with my hair. Yet another thing that I have to take care of.
Absolutely.
In this shedding of things that I want to take care of.
Exactly.
I decided to get mine locked. And I find it so freeing.
Yes.
Did you find that when you cut your hair?
I am as free as a bird in the sky.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, it was a journey, and I've reached a place in my life that I've never been. The walk is different. The pride in the walk is different because when I show up, everyone notices.
Yes.
So I can't hide behind a hairdo. I can't hide behind any of those things that protected me from my low self-esteem at that time. But God said, I got you.
Yes.
Okay? I'm going to put you in a position where you'll be free and you'll be open and you'll be your authentic
and you'll be
you,
seen.
And I'll be seen. And you better walk.
Now.
Okay, you better hold that head
Now.
up high. Okay,
Now.
walk for me. Yes. So I come in. I walk in the room, and I just show up as my authentic self, and I love it.
And that's so liberating. But I'm sure that it took you through. It was a process to get there. I'm sure it took an emotional toll.
Yes.
For me too, because like I mentioned, I had long, beautiful hair, and I would cut it grow back, cut it grow back, color it grow, all the things.
Right.
But as I'm getting older and going through this hormonal change, it doesn't just come back like it used to.
No, it doesn't.
Which for me was a lot too, because I'm used to just being able to fry it, dye it, lay it to the side,
baby.
No matter what I did to it, it was coming back, But now it doesn't recover like it used to.
No.
So that was a journey for me, but I can imagine shedding all of it.
Yes. My challenges initially after that first emotional shift was intimacy. I had a partner, he was bald, and I'm bald. And I remember back, because we were together for quite some time, so he'd seen all the changes. And, the hair was flowing, and, he may yank it a, time or two.
Digress now.
Yes. And that wasn't happening. And I'm laying there, and I'm looking at him, and I said, my God, we're the same. And it attacked my femininity, so I thought.
Right.
So that was a challenge until I changed my thoughts,
right,
changed my process of thinking. And once that happened, we were on it.
Now,
we can bump heads now. Literally.
So I find too with menopause, my emotions are all over the place. Not just about hair, of course, but early on, I used to get really like, why am I crying? Like have these crying spells or, feeling a lot more insecure because
Yes.
I'm like, Scorpios do it a certain way. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yes, we do.
And when we walk in the room, we walks in the room, right?
In the room, yes.
But I went through a period of, just kind of hover, shelling myself for some reason. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm normally,
Right.
what's
Right.
up,
Yeah.
What did you find? Like, were you that way early on in the process?
Well, because I came in, I was already bald when I was coming through this menopausal stage. So I had already practiced showing up. So I do understand in terms of, because it was a battle.
Yeah.
It was, because all of these other changes, because now we're like, all right, this weight.
Yes.
This belly, where
Yes.
did it come from? Why would it go away?
Right,
Oh my goodness.
right,
And I
right.
say, okay, well, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to eat one meal a day. I'm going to walk until I change my mind, which
Right.
is
To the
often
corner.
the next right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 100 crunches. I'm
Yes.
going to do all of those things. And it just doesn't work because one, it's not steady because life is life. And,
Yes.
But
Yes.
I have to put my mind to it and say, okay, Denise, you have to be steady. You have to do the work.
And
But
we have to do the work even more now.
Yes.
I mean, I think now, like back in the day, we were more active. We did things.
yes.
As we got older, maybe less active. But I'm finding we need to be even more active than we were younger. We got to walk. We got to watch what we eat. Because of the hormonal changes and vitamin
Yes.
deficiencies and all the
Yes.
things as we get older,
Yes.
it's like, OMG, if you don't
yeah.
get up and walk and then eat a good breakfast and then do the things and do the things
Absolutely.
and take the supplements and do the OMG, all the aches and pains
All the aches and pains
are
all of
going to
those
be
things.
there.
And I was talking to a friend of mine because they're like, well, I used to be able to do or eat or whatever, and I said, it's change.
Yes.
That's a change of
That's the
life.
change.
It's not just hormonal. It's the change of your life. You can't do the things that you used to do. So now we have to embrace,
Gotta adjust.
adjust to these new ways of life.
Yes.
You can't go and have you that big old burger and fries and I like that shake and
Because you'll pay for it later.
There you go.
will pay for it later with some acid reflux.
Let's
stomach,
talk about it.
all the things.
Okay,
Yes, you
all
cannot.
of those things, and then a sip of wine is adding. I can't even tell you how many calories. I used to drink more than a sip of wine back in the day.
Yes,
and it's changed.
Yes, metabolism slowing down.
all of that.
And it brings me up to a point too, like going to the doctor.
Yeah,
I have found with previous doctors that I've had, they're quick to dismiss symptoms,
yeah.
especially of Black women. And I had one therapist tell me, yes, I did therapy. One
for you.
therapist to tell me, and she was a white woman. She said, if you find in the system that you're not getting what you need to get, call me. That it's written that doctors, it's a scientific fact, that doctors don't think of our pain in the same way of other ethnicities, which I was shocked to learn. But as soon as she said it to me, I went back to the times that I've seen the doctor and they've dismissed the symptoms. They've, in and out, it was a thing. In this era of life, where, like I mentioned, I've gone through therapy and I've done the work for myself to now when I show up, I'm showing up.
Showing up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And I'm bold in how I show up. Without remorse.
Absolutely.
Right?
That part.
I'm going to be respectful, but you're going to hear me.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And making sure that I advocate for myself.
Yes.
When I step in the room with this doctor.
That's right. That's right.
And a lot of us don't. So I want to put it out there, women. Do your research before you walk in the room.
Absolutely.
Almost know what I wasn't going to say almost. Know what you're talking about when you come in the room and describe what's going on with you.
Absolutely.
And speak up for yourself.
Speak up. Ask questions.
Ask questions.
I met with a doctor, a neurologist yesterday. I had a procedure done about a month ago. And there was a metal piece that was left inside my body that I was not aware of. I wasn't asked. I wasn't informed. I wasn't given a choice. And the way I found out was while I was in recovery, there was a pamphlet that was handed to me and to let me know there was a card attached that I would need to carry throughout my journeys if I was going through the TSA security. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Because I'm still foggy from the anesthesia. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what you're saying. Oh yeah, you have a metal piece. And I said, well, no one.
Where did it come from? Right. No one explained it.
What happened to the needle and thread? It was a. What are we doing?
Right.
This will, because I've had the procedure before.
Yes.
There was never
a pamphlet left.
A pamphlet. And I spoke with my neurologist, and he said, I don't understand you patients. You don't ask questions. You don't. Now, was I supposed to ask, okay, are you going to put a metal piece in my... No, but it's true. We don't ask questions, and we don't advocate ourselves for ourselves. And we believe that these doctors have our best interest. No.
Right.
Not at all.
And not to just go off on that tangent, but it's true, and it's rare to find a doctor that actually cares enough.
Yes.
I remember a time, and I'll tell the short story and move on. I was having female issues, fibroids, from doctor to doctor. They're in and out the room so quick.
Right.
I ended up going to this male doctor that I was referred to. And when he came in, and I told him, I said, listen, I've been to 3 other doctors. Nobody could tell me what's going on with me. And if you only got 2 minutes, I might as well leave. And he paused, and the paper that's on the bed. He ripped the paper. He said, pull up a chair. And he drew me diagrams.
Wow.
And I stayed with this gynecologist until I didn't need to go anymore, because he took the time to break it down to me.
Yeah.
And it helped establish a trust between us, because you're telling me you act, and every visit from that.
Right.
He spent the time.
Yeah.
He spent the time. So it is important to speak up for yourself. And I just want, especially in this phase of life, we're going to encounter different things as we get older. You have to talk for yourself. And if you cannot, make sure that you have a friend or buddy or somebody that can advocate for you.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right, we're going to switch subjects here.
Okay.
Get ready.
All right. Uh-oh. Do I need tissue?
I don't think you're going to need tissue,
All
but we
right.
might laugh.
Okay.
Dating after
Oh,
50.
Jesus, Father God in heaven.
What would you say is different later in life? It could be good or bad.
Ooh, there's,
Better or worse
I don't want to say it.
compared to, like, say, when you were in your 30s.
Okay. There's more poop in the pool. I guess I know. Okay. Did I say it?
You said it out
I said it
loud,
out
Denise.
loud. I think the expectations
Yes.
are the leading cause of disappointment.
I could not have said that better.
We feel that because our mates are of a certain age,
Yes.
that they would have some growth, some foresight, some maturity,
Right.
just something.
Something.
And it's like it's cycling back. It's going back. It's like almost like a Benjamin Buttons. It's like, what are we doing?
What is going on?
Who is this? And it's difficult.
It's very difficult. And you talked about expectations, especially when you've reached, as a woman,
Absolutely.
a certain level of understanding,
Yes.
a certain level of, we'll say, maturity to match,
Yes.
Financially,
Yes.
you've secured yourself
Yes.
at a certain level in life. Finding someone that can match that is difficult.
Very.
And I find it may not even so much be about the money piece, but the journey piece,
Yeah.
the maturity level. I'm finding older guys acting like they're 30. And the unfortunate part of that, from my perspective, the pool of men to women, the pool of men for the many women
Right.
is small.
Very.
So you have women that accommodate the bullshit.
You better speak it.
Therefore,
Let's pray for our sisters.
a man would not have to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
Someone else will deal with the foolishness, so
Oh, yeah.
they're okay with that.
Oh, yeah.
Until a man is ready to elevate himself or whatever, to just for himself, and then he'll
Exactly.
find somebody that matches that energy.
Absolutely.
But it's crazy.
It is crazy. And women will take on and keep up with the bullshit just for the sake of, I have
got
a
a
husband, I have a whole man, I have reached a point in my life through failed relationships.
Yes.
And I call them, I used to call them, I say, wasting my time. No,
I'm learning lessons.
yes, there were lessons, absolutely, in that. And I'm thankful
Yes.
and I'm grateful for
Yes.
that journey.
Yes.
And now I can say, real quick.
Right.
I don't have to spend a month or 2 or 3. Oh, I see things that I've seen before, sugar. I can't. No.
Right,
Thank
right,
you. Click,
right,
clack.
right.
Left.
Yes.
No. Block. No.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
sorry. I don't, not for the sake of just having a man.
Yes, yes.
I
And it
can't
takes
do
a
it.
lot to even get to that point, though.
Yes, Lord.
Because you want companionship. You
Yes.
know, you want a person to lay next to at night. I mean, we want those things. Go out
Right.
on dates.
Absolutely.
A male to pay us some attention, to compliment. We
Absolutely.
want those things,
Yes,
but at
we do.
what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost?
Exactly. I said I said no. I can't.
And
I
it's
can't.
it's hard for me now because I've just kind of gotten to a point of, it's been almost 2 years since I've lost my husband. And I've just gotten to the point of saying, okay, I'll open myself up
Yeah.
and see. The difficult part is he set a standard that now I'm sure I will be using to measure subconsciously. So I have to be very careful about that.
Yes.
Because he did the things. He did all the things.
He did the things.
And I said, if I never marry again, I married well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as the emotional support, like all the things.
All
I got
the
that from him.
things.
So now he's not here, and I'm opening myself up to be vulnerable again. I think the biggest thing for me is I'm just going to take my time.
Take your time, sis.
And be sure of every move I make, because
Absolutely.
I
With
don't
intention.
with intention.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And be open. And I think for me, it'll definitely have to start with friendship.
Yeah.
Because you have to take the time to really get to know somebody while you. Because,
Yes, you
baby,
do.
him and I mean, it was like 26 years we were friends, and so we had a story. But it was things that were built between us over time.
Right, right.
And now, being in my 50s and dating, like, what am I dating for? Am I dating for marriage? Like younger days, you were dating for various reasons. Like,
Absolutely.
am I just doing it for companionship, or like, what is?
Okay, so what am I doing? I think after a while, especially when you've had that amazing partner,
Yes.
it's very difficult moving forward, because now we're trying to, okay, check, okay, no,
Check boxes,
okay,
right,
no.
right.
And a lot of times they don't measure up.
Yes.
So now, what is it that are we just going to have a good time?
Yes.
While we're here for the
Right.
duration? Or we're going to really spend that time and check off those boxes? And I think when we get to a certain age, it's, I think it's for the good time, honestly, because I can take care of myself.
Yes.
I can do those things. Really, honestly, right now, I can use the companionship.
Yes.
The love, the communication. I can, the love language.
Yes.
And I think we're good.
Yes. Yes.
So check.
And it doesn't
okay.
necessarily have to be a big orchestrated thing with labels put on it necessarily.
Exactly, because we probably won't find that again.
Yeah.
Not in the demographics that we're looking.
Yes.
And a lot of us are scared to go outside of that. But hopefully, if you do, it'll be beautiful.
Yes.
But if you don't spend so much time
Yes.
trying to check off those boxes. Yeah.
And I've made a conscious decision, not saying it won't come up.
Right.
Or the thoughts won't be there ever.
Right.
But I feel like that would be unfair to the next person.
Yeah.
So I have to be conscious of, not doing the comparison.
Yeah. Definitely.
And give it a real chance whenever I get to that point. But right now I'm just really taking my time.
Taking your time and having fun.
And having fun, which brings me to my next point of having people in your life that help bring the joy. Good girlfriends, how important that is in this phase of life. We're busy, everybody has their own things going on, and but to be able to every now and again just tap into that friendship, sisterhood. Do you think that's important in this phase of life? I mean, for me, it's been big.
You just gave me goosebumps. I just had a conversation with a friend. I am the friend of the friendless. I have quite a few girlfriends who I am their girlfriend. They don't trust women. They don't like women because women are shysty. Women,
catty,
you can't
all the
catty
things,
and can't trust them. And I find, and I say this to them, it's not the girlfriends. It's you. It's you.
Yes.
And I love my women. I love and I have quite a few female friends. Some that I've had to drop off.
Yes.
For various reasons.
Yes.
But the bond that I share with my girlfriends is priceless.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that I can, just certain things I wouldn't be able to share with a man. He wouldn't understand that.
Right.
You know, but my girlfriends, we get it. We get it.
Sometimes without words having to be
Without
said.
words
Yeah.
needed. And we just love on each other. And it's so important
Yes.
to have that community of women, you know, supporting you.
Yes.
And you supporting them.
Yes.
And
it goes both ways for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful place to be.
And I have a core group of friends, and the funny part is they all give me something different.
Yes.
But what they all give me the same: authenticity, truth.
Yeah.
Because you know, it's certain things you just ain't finna say to a Scorpio. But anyway, they call me on my shit. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to tell you, sister.
I love you, but you tripping.
Exactly.
In a minute, you know.
Exactly.
But they all have different. I have a different relationship with each one of them.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But a level of trust is so important
Yeah.
with them, you know, because it's the one place I could just go and collapse, you know, and don't worry about nothing. You know, they got me. It's taken care of,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely.
So having that in my life has been beneficial. Now, moving to a new location, my husband and I moved to a new location. We knew no one. I got me some friends here. You being one.
Thank you. Yes.
That has been, and I always, so every show I've done so far, I make the point of saying God will give you what you need.
Absolutely.
Having that camaraderie and sisterhood, still, my girlfriends live thousands of miles away. And they come, you know, I go home and visit all the things. But knowing I could just pick up the phone and call you and say, listen,
Exactly.
this is what's what, you know. Knowing that I could call another one and say, what you cook for dinner? Because now I'm by myself. I might not cook as often, you know, but if you don't throw together something, let me come eat, you know, type of thing. So it is extremely important to have that bond of sisterhood.
It's beautiful.
Especially as we you know, get older.
As we get older.
We age,
And I still have those friends back home, my day ones. I still have that.
Yes.
But I too moved here and knew not a soul.
Right.
It was my mother and I. We knew no one.
Yes.
And I have, throughout the years, created these bonds with these beautiful, loving, just great women.
Yes.
And again, each of them come with something different.
Yeah.
And it's just a beautiful journey. And I love my sisters. When I feel like crying or breaking down, they would have cried like, girl, I can't stand it.
Right.
You understand it like, right. Tissue.
Exactly.
And it's beautiful. I can't, my
and then
male
you
friends
get done
like,
and you be
crying?
like, you good?
You
Yeah,
right,
I'm
you
good.
good?
All right,
Yeah,
see you later,
yeah,
bye.
You cooking? Yeah, whatever.
Right. Now I want to ask you a question and your thoughts on something that came up recently. What are your thoughts about reigniting a flame?
Ooh, Lord.
Getting reacquainted with someone from your past.
Someone that I've dated
Someone
previously.
that you've dated previously. Things may not have worked out the first time. And it's being revisited.
My God.
I've had it come up quite a bit, especially since my husband passed. So navigating that is very interesting.
I tell you this, and I've heard this from other people. You don't go back to those relationships. They're exes for a reason. Now, I have spent 36 years back and forth with an ex. 36 years. And I would say I wasted. That's when I was in pain.
Yes.
No, I didn't waste. that was part of my journey
Mm-hmm.
until I was ready, until I was filled. I filled myself. I didn't need him to fill me.
Yes, yes.
And realize this is not the one for you. And that was 36 years. Now, in the interim of that, you know, he got married. I had a beautiful son. All of those things happened, but he kept coming back, and I allowed it each time with the promise of change. No change. It started, it appeared to be,
Yes.
you know, threw that
Yes,
out.
yes, yes,
you know,
yes, yes,
And I'm
yes.
like, gobble, 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 gobble. Oh, look at this.
Yes.
And then slowly but surely, here comes the mess. That
So
you
doing what's
set.
necessary to get back in the door and back to the old routine.
Exactly. So now, can it be a successful experience? I believe it can. However, you try it one time.
Yeah.
Give
yeah.
it a try.
Yeah.
Because people change.
People do change and people mature, but
They mature.
Yeah.
But one time.
One time.
Don't
right.
do like
Don't
I
do
did.
it back.
No, ma'am. Don't do it.
Don't do a back and forth
30-some
thing.
odd years.
Oh my.
Don't do that.
And you know, we've all been there, but it's like at some point in time you got to crack your own skull. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
You know,
'Cause you're
and it's
praying
not
and
even
hoping.
about them at that point.
No.
It's about you,
It's
and like
about
you
you.
said, what you've allowed to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think as I went through like my process, my mom used to always ask me, "You a woman? You a woman? You a woman?" Yeah, I'm a woman. She's like, "Keep living."
Yeah.
As I've gone through my work to get to
Exactly.
womanhood,
Right.
I had to think about previous relationships, and the one common denominator was me.
Yeah. Exactly. It's you.
You got to think about that.
Exactly.
If your failed relationship to failed relationship, it's not always the other person's fault. You got some stuff in there too.
Got some growing to do.
So exactly, and that's when I made the decision. Okay, I'm not going to date for a while. I'm not going to get involved. I got to start working on me.
on you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, and
Same
I think
here.
that time is necessary.
It is. And you know, I find that a lot of men don't take that time.
Yes.
They go from relationship to relationship. I had a friend tell me, I'm never single.
Yes.
I said, oh my.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't take time to reactivate, rejuvenate, get your... No.
They don't.
Right. So you just fall into the same routine. You don't... we as
I know
women,
several.
we do.
I know several that from woman to woman to woman
Yeah.
to woman to woman. Take a break.
Take a break.
Your body.
Yes,
Needs
about
a break.
that part, and reassess.
Your mind.
Exactly.
Needs a
Try
break.
to figure out. Okay, where did I?
Yes.
What was the part that
What
I played?
role
in this?
did
What
I
role
play
did I
in the
play?
failure of this relationship?
Exactly.
And the previous relationship.
And the previous, and the one last, and the other one,
And the other one before that.
You know, take your time.
Yes.
Stop. Give yourself a break for a year. Be celibate for a year.
Yes, yes. Get yourself together.
Get yourself together.
And that's for men and women.
Absolutely.
Take the time.
Take the time. Get to know you.
Yes. And it'll pay in spades
It
in
will.
the end.
It will.
Because once you've done the work,
Yeah.
you attract something different.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you
Which
do.
takes me to my next topic. And we'll
Yes.
close with this topic.
Okay.
Joy.
Ah.
Finding joy. And as we talked about, I suffered a loss. And how do I come back from that? So I took a trip after my husband passed, and family came, you know, did all the family stuff. I took a trip by myself. Never had traveled alone. I took a cruise, 7 days in Hawaii by myself.
Beautiful.
When I tell you it was the best thing that I could have ever done for myself, the ship broke down. Other things happened.
Right. Right.
But I got what I needed.
Exactly.
I opened myself up to feel what was happening. Okay. We're not going to spend the 7 days crying.
Exactly.
Because what you going to do next?
Exactly.
And I went about establishing, where do I go from here?
Right.
And living a life of taking care of, giving, doing. It's time for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I got out of that trip.
Look at that.
It's not about being selfish. It's about self-interest. And from that day to this one,
That's it.
I've been finding my joy.
Exactly.
I travel. I bought me a convertible.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Beautiful locks just blowing in the wind.
Yes, just blowing in the wind. I'm different.
Yeah.
I'm different
Yeah.
because this is a new chapter, a new era of being me.
Yeah.
And I want to show up authentic
Yeah.
in who I am. So that's what I got out of that trip, that
Beautiful.
it's okay to have self-interest.
Absolutely.
In what ways do you find joy?
Ah.
I know you cook.
Oh, do I? Yes. I have gone through several changes in my life. I lost my mother in 2017, which was very devastating because I took care of her. She had dementia. And I took care of her. And then I caught COVID and spent 23 days in the hospital. Doctor called my son and say, I'm sorry, she's going. And I had to advocate for myself while I was there. That same relationship came to an end. That 30 some odd came to a complete end. And I knew, because I had said I would never come back. And during those times and those challenges created new me. New me where the onion was being peeled, and I just started seeing myself and respecting myself.
Yes.
And understanding myself and holding myself accountable. And
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Holding myself accountable. And I'll tell you, through that recovery stage, there was a meeting with God
Yes.
that I had never had before. And through that meeting and through those challenges, created such a joy for me at the end, because I'm getting to know me and I'm getting to love me. So I have reached a point of acceptance
Yes.
of who I am and knowing that I am great, I am beautiful, I am loved,
Yes.
and I am respected because I respect myself.
Yes. Yes.
And it's extremely necessary. So now I don't take on those things that I used to.
Yes.
No way. Because I have too much respect for myself, and I'm not going to allow you or anybody to do it, to change that narrative.
Yes. Yes.
So now, the joy in cooking. Get that Sancocho. Yes. and hanging out with my friends.
Yes.
And still continuing to meet with God. And just beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've had, my son told me, Ma, you've changed. You've changed so much. He says, but he told me this a while back. He said, you still have that nostalgic bond of holding on. Yes, my 27-year-old told me that. He says you have this nostalgic bond that you have with friends. He says, although you've made these great changes, some of those friends you need to let go of.
Listen.
I said,
Listen.
if you don't get off my phone.
With reality.
Throw this
With
phone
reality.
with the reality.
With reality, because that's so true.
That is in the process as well.
Yes.
So
I would say,
yes.
as I have elevated, they just fell off.
Ooh, yes.
And with them falling off,
Yeah.
I used to
Yes.
reach back.
Exactly. Ooh, love it.
I
Reach
did
back.
not. I did not anymore.
But look what you had to do. reach back.
That part.
Ah,
That part. So
I need a
I let
drink.
it be what it is.
yes,
And we going to end on that note.
absolutely.
We are going to end on that note.
Absolutely.
Bold and beautiful,
Bold
Miss
and
Denise
beautiful.
Rose. Thank
Yes.
you so
Thank
much
you,
for
my
joining
sister.
us
Thank
today.
you for inviting me.
Yes, and I
Thank
look
you.
forward to more conversations to
Yes,
come because this was
absolutely.
beautiful.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
thank you again for coming.
Yes.
Whew, okay, deep breath. If you've been feeling like you're coming undone a little bit lately, maybe it's your body, maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your spirit. I hope this conversation reminded you that you are not alone. Menopause may bring hot flashes, mood swings, and yes, some surprise hairline changes, but it also brings wisdom, clarity, and an opportunity to put yourself at the top of your own list again. And let's not forget the magic of dating when you know who you are, and the power of friendships that hold you up when you're tired of being strong. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep showing up for you. If this episode spoke to your soul, please share it with a sister friend, your book club, or post it on your socials and tag me at Tracy Marshall. And if you've got a story, a question, or a topic you want me to cover next, I'm all ears. Until next time, stay grounded, stay glowing, and remember, you're not just surviving this season, girl. You're making it through. Click like, subscribe, and share. And thank you for listening. Tracy Marshall out.
Life keeps changing, and I keep aging. Turn my stress into blessings. I'm here to share my life.